Hi, this is Dr. Gary, and welcome to our weekly tune-up this week. Let's talk about anxiety, and let's talk about what anxiety does to us. During this week, I've had the opportunity to work with several people that were having what they thought were anxiety attacks. In fact, one of them even went to the hospital thinking they're having a heart attack. And we hear about this sometimes. We're not quite sure what it is or what causes it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I'm going to show you a quick trick that can actually stop an anxiety attack in its tracks when you start noticing you may be getting one. Sometimes it can be too late to stop it using this technique, but if you have a hunch that it could happen, you can kind of feel that coming on. And what's going to happen is, if you'll do this, you're going to start training yourself to stay away from those anxiety attacks. In fact, you can eliminate them completely. Most of the people that I've done this with, if we practice diligently with them and really get them to just consistently pay attention to this for about 3 to 4 weeks, it pretty much collapses the symptom of an anxiety attack and even the onset of what causes it to happen. It's really a very simple thing. Sometimes when we're watching this on television or the internet, it might seem easier and too easy, and maybe it just can't work because it's too easy, because anxiety attacks feel really big. They feel really important. And even I had a young woman here this week said, I said, well, what I want you to do is just change the way you think about things. She said, well, that really makes me mad when you tell me that, because it's in me and I can't just do that. Well, I understand that, and that's exactly what I told her. I showed this to her, and in the instant moment that we did this, it did help. Now, has it fixed her completely? No, because there's going to be a time when she's going to have to practice this, and not give up on it when she's not seeing me. And that's some of the difficult stuff I have to deal with here. Is many times I wish I was with someone 24 hours a day and just help them through that period of time. But most of us don't have that luxury. Most of us have to take it upon ourselves and take responsibility for our states of mind, and we have to really pay attention, which is being uptime. I also talk to these people about a thing called nested loops, and what nested loops are these instances where we start thinking an habitual thought, and it just keeps looping over and over again. And every time we loop it, it's like compounding a little bit, making it a little bit bigger, and that's what brings on an anxiety attack. And the chemical imbalances that happen in an anxiety attack, really what's happening is you're pushing way too much adrenaline into your system. You could even start hyperventilating. You could even lock up your muscles to where you can't even hardly move. You feel completely paralyzed sometimes. That's just really brain chemistry working against you, when it's really supposed to be amping you up to help save yourself from something real serious. But usually the seriousness that's happening to us today is really in our thoughts. A lot of us just kind of think stuff because, you know, right now the world is a wonderful place, and it can be a scary place for some of us. Some people are having a tough time financially. Some people are having a tough time with their children. There's a lot of stuff going out there with communications. Just the internet alone, social networking like Twitter and YouTube and all these things that email us and notify us, and little bells go off on our phone and we can't let that go. It creates a tremendous amount of anxiety. It's a whole new problem that we have to learn how to deal with. And this overloading of our nervous system creates an endorphin rush, usually adrenaline, and that adrenaline gets imbalanced with serotonin, dopamine, and the other neuropeptides that will not allow us to relax. So this little trick works. What I want you to do, if you've got something you're anxious about, you can practice this right now. I want you just to close your eyes. It helps to close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes, but it helps. And what I want you to do is right now, as I'm talking to you, think of something that makes you feel good. Think of a thought that makes you feel good. And when you know what makes you feel good, you start noticing it makes you feel good. And create that thought and hold on to that thought and do what you can do to even amplify that thought. And what I mean by that is to allow yourself to think about making it maybe bigger or even more colorful, or maybe put some sound in it. Maybe you can hear something along with it, no matter what it is. Add as many elements as you can to it to amplify the feeling you get. And as you know, when you're doing that, and if you can do this at the onset of what you feel could be an anxiety attack or just nervousness, it's going to set that off to another direction. It's going to change your brain chemistry, and it's going to start retraining your mind to do what you want it to do, and that is to blow off that negative stuff and keep you in a resourceful state of mind. Always remember, the more relaxed you are, the smarter you are. So as you're thinking that, just really hold on to that as long as you can. Now you can do this while you're driving, of course with your eyes closed. You can do this anytime. But when you feel the onset of, oh boy, I'm starting to get that way again, that's when you want to do it, while you can still think about it. Because once the anxiety takes over, it's hard to think about it. And many people rush to the hospital to medicate themselves. And really that is a dead-end street, because what that's going to train your body to do and your mind to do is not do what we're talking about. The pills will do it for it, and the ability for you to do this yourself will soon atrophy, and it's going to even be harder to be able to think about something that makes you feel good by yourself. As the holidays are coming on, many of us get anxious about visiting our relatives, people coming and visiting. Oh, we have to do this, we have to go shopping. We add a lot of stuff to our list of things to do. Let's be smart this time. Let's calm down. Let's focus on what we want. And let's also be the manager of ourselves. And if something starts making us anxious, let's just decide right now that we're going to create some new tools and start managing ourselves a little bit differently and not be manipulated by what we should do. Let's work on this. I want to hear from you. You can email me anytime. I appreciate all of you listening. And also pass this on to someone if it can help. Let's get this list built up. I'd really appreciate it. And you have a great holiday season, and especially a great Thanksgiving. Until I talk to you next time, this is Dr. Gary. Love all of you. Thank you for being with me. Bye-bye.